I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs, and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's purport. For want of a taste of things spiritual, a grave doubt arises in the minds of those who are enchained by worldly knowledge. On hearing a narration of the pastimes of Krishna, they think that the truth regarding Krishna is the mental concoction of certain learned scholars, created by their imaginative brains out of material drawn from the mundane principles. With the object of removing this harmful doubt, Brahma, in this and the 3 following shlokas, after distinguishing between the 2 things, that is, spirit and matter, in a rational manner, has tried to make one understand the pure Leela of Krishna, obtained by his unmixed ecstatic trance. Brahma wants to say that the form of Krishna is all existence, all knowledge, and all bliss, whereas all mundane experiences are full of palpable ignorance. Although there is specific difference between the 2, the fundamental truth is that spiritual affairs constitute the absolute source. Specification and variegatedness are ever present in it. By them are established the transcendental abode, form, name, quality, and sports of Krishna. The soul and the body of Krishna are identical, whereas the body and soul of fallen creatures are not so. In the spiritual sphere, there is no such difference as that between the body and soul, between the limbs and their proprietor, between the attributes and the object possessing them. Such differences exist in the case of conditioned souls. Limbed though Krishna is, his every limb is the whole entity. He performs all varieties of divine spiritual functions with every one of his limbs. Hence, he is an indivisible whole and a perfect transcendental entity. Both Jiva Soul and Krishna are transcendental, so they belong to the same category. But they differ in this, that the transcendental attributes exist in the Jiva in infinitesimally small degrees, whereas in Krishna they are found in their fullest perfection. Those attributes manifest themselves in their proper infinitesimality only when the Jiva Soul attains his unadulterated spiritual status. The Jiva Soul attains the nearest approach to the absolute identity only when the spiritual force of ecstatic energy appears in him by the grace of Krishna. Still, Krishna remains the object of universal homage by reason of his possession of certain unique attributes. These 4 unrivaled attributes do not manifest themselves in Narayan, the Lord of Vaikuntha, or in the primeval Purusha avatars, or in the highest deities such as Shiva. What to speak of Jivas? I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure, unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without beginning, whose form is endless, who is the beginning and the eternal Purusha. Yet he is a person possessing the beauty of blooming youth. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's purport. Though he indulges in exhibiting the pastimes of births, etc., still Krishna is without a beginning. Though he disappears after the pastimes of his appearance, still he is eternal. Though without origin, yet he is with an origin in his pastime of appearance. And although eternal in essence, he is still a person in the full bloom of youth. The sum and substance is that though he possesses diverse and apparently mutually contradictory qualities, still they are in universal harmonious concordance, by dint of his unthinkable potency. This is what is meant by Chid Dharma, transcendental nature, as distinguished from the material. In the transcendental realm, there is no past and future, but only unalloyed and immutable present time. In the transcendental sphere, there is no distinction between the object and its qualities, and no such identity as is found in the limited mundane region. Hence, those qualities that seem to be apparently contradictory in light of mundane conception, limited by time and space, exist in agreeable and dainty concordance in the spiritual realm. How can the jiva realize such unprecedented existence? The limited intellectual function of the jiva is always contaminated by the influence of time and space, and is, therefore, not in a position to shake off this limitedness. If the cognitive function does not extend to the realization of the transcendental, what else can? In reply, Brahma says that the transcendental absolute is beyond the reach of the Vedas. The Vedas originate in sound, and sound originates in mundane ether. So, the Vedas cannot present before us a direct view of the transcendental world, Goloka. It is only when the Vedas are imbued with the Chit potency that they are enabled to deal with the transcendental. But Goloka reveals itself to every jiva soul when he is under the influence of the spiritual cognitive potency, joined to the essence of ecstatic energy. The ecstatic function of devotion is boundless and surcharged with unalloyed transcendental knowledge. That knowledge reveals Goloka Tattva in unison with devotion, without asserting itself separately, but as a subsidiary to unalloyed devotion. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord. Only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis, who aspire after the transcendental and take themselves to pranayam by drilling the respiration, or by the Gyanis, who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane, extending over thousands of millions of years. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's purport. The Kaivalya, or merging into the Brahman, constitutes the line of demarcation between the world of limitation and the transcendental world. For unless we step beyond them, we can have no taste of the variegatedness of the transcendental sphere. These conditions are the simple absence of misery arising from mundane affinity, but are not real happiness or felicity. If the absence of misery be called a bit of pleasure, then also that bit is very small and of no consequence. It is not sufficient to destroy the condition of materiality, but the real gain of the jiva is his eternal existence in his self-realized state. This can be attained only by the grace of unalloyed devotion, which is essentially chit, or transcendental in character. For this end, abstract and uninteresting mental speculation is of no avail. He is an undifferentiated entity, and there is no distinction between the potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atoms that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's purport. Krishna is the highest of all entities. All the mundane universes owe their origin to the transformation of his external potency. Again, his abode is beyond human conception, since all worlds, limited and spiritual, exist in him, and he resides simultaneously in his fullness and entirety in all the atoms in all the worlds. All pervasiveness is only a localized aspect of the majesty of Krishna, the Lord of all. Though he is all-pervasive, yet in his existence everywhere, in a medium shape, consists his spiritual lordship beyond human conception. This argument favors the doctrine of simultaneous, inconceivable distinction and non-distinction, and knocks down the contaminating Mayavad and other allied doctrines.